We've been lucky to get really strong feedback at this stage of the binding, and not just, feedback that tries to change the film or push it in another direction, but feedback that actually sharpens what's already there. And even when feedback is good and thoughtful and generous, it can still sometimes be quite hard to hear. Because by the time you reach this stage, the script isn't just a document anymore. It's months of overthinking and work and second guessing yourself, and quiet decisions no one really sees. So when someone points out that something might not be working in your script, it doesn't just feel like a note. It can sometimes feel like personal or like a judgment. Your script is personal, not just because it deals with emotional material, but because it's how you see the story. So it can sometimes be hard to not take that criticism or that feedback as, an attack, even when it's not meant in that way. There was moments during this process where, the first thought is to defend my work, explain why this thing works, why it mattered, why it was important to the story, and why it made sense to me. And sometimes that instinct is right, sometimes we do need to hold the ground. But other times, the note isn't trying to take something away. It's pointing at something that you've been circling without even realising it. And that's a hard part, learning to tell the difference. And that can take trust, not just in the people giving you feedback, but also in the idea that your film can still survive with some changes. That letting something shift doesn't mean that you failed. It means you're still listening. At this stage, you're not just protecting ideas, you're protecting intent. And directing, at least for me, has been learning when to defend that intent and when to let the film teach you something new. And that balance is uncomfortable, but it's where the work actually gets better. Thank you so much for listening to me talk. If you're interested in any of my work, I'm currently working on a new folk horror short film called The Binding. The link is in my bio if you want to go support that. We're currently in the early pre-production phases and really looking forward to seeing how it develops.